about to head out and go for another run. I try to go once a week on a run. I mean, it's not really like a very long run. I run like maybe 10 feet or so, or sprint, and then I get super tired. And then I walk for a while, then I do another like little jog run period, and that's what I've been doing. But I think in time that I'll get better at it, and I'll be able to maybe actually run for a mile straight or 2 miles or whatever my goal will be. I'm sure it'll always be changing and stuff. And I have my hair tightly put up now. I'm not sure where I'm going to put my phone. I don't have any pockets or anything. I'm actually thinking about getting a plant, like little fanny pack. I mean, I had those growing up. I loved my fanny pack when I was like 90s kid. I had my fanny pack. I found one that's like plant, like has like little monsteras and stuff on it. And actually my planty friend, she's in love with it too. So I might get it for both of us. It'd be cool if I could buy it for both of us. We could be like twins. We already have matching shirts. Actually, I should show y'all this shirt. So this shirt is, let's see. This is our shirt that we have that's like matching, like a donut cat or something like that. So we both have this shirt, and I haven't seen her in a while. She moves pretty far away from me, and I've been meaning to go see her, but I've just been so low energy and just really exhausted trying to figure out like what I'm gonna do with the rest of my life, and income wise, like what's gonna bring in money that I'm gonna love and enjoy, and that's actually going to be something profitable. And so that just takes a lot of like mental toll on you when you're just so uncertain about things. And with the pandemic going on too, like that's just an added stress on top of everything. So I think it's just, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's feeling that. I think a lot of people right now are just feeling just really, I guess, stretched thin or at capacity as far as like stress and uncertainty and what they can handle. I know there's a lot of mental health stuff going on with people the last like year or so. All right, I better go. I'm at the end of my run. I'm going to get a coffee. I'm so excited. And I usually don't take my camera because it's really hard to run with like a GoPro in your hand, or I don't even have anywhere. I don't have pockets. I have this, right now I have this one like pocket like this, but things are probably just gonna fall out of it once I start running. So I barely probably have a place for my phone. So I can't take y'all with me, but I'll let you know how the run is when I get back, if there's anything noteworthy to tell you. Money to where I can build housing unit here in the Seattle area. People who are chronically unhoused, they can come and have a place to finally like live and that they could call their own. I think that would be just a really amazing project, because I'm all about making money, but then taking that wealth and using it ethically to make the world better and to help someone who has been struggling. I feel like that there's so much money and wealth in the world, and that if everyone just focused on spending that money in an ethical way, that we would just be in a better place overall. And we need more of that. So that's my main goal. Make as much money as I can to then turn around and start slowly, one by one, making areas better. It would be amazing if I could just like work on that, because that's like my true calling. My true calling is helping people, but helping people it doesn't pay your bills. If you just focus on that, then you will also, you know, lose all of your housing and anything like that, and transportation. So unfortunately, in this capitalistic world, we have to go and fight for $1. But I think with all of my ideas that I have, I think I can definitely make something really amazing and cool. But that's why I'm also building my business with a mission and a vision, where we want to take this and what we want to do with the profit. And I think that's just really awesome. I wish more companies would actually do that instead of just doing it for like social clout. Like, I feel like a lot of large corporations, they jump on the bandwagon with whatever's gonna make them look good. So like right now it's like green, renewable, like they don't really care that they're actually doing anything that's for the environment or helping out the, you know, the people around them. They're just doing it for, you know, marketing. They're just doing it so that they can look good. And then tomorrow when it changes to something else, then they will also change. And what they're backing is going to be whatever flavor of the day is. So I kind of feel like that we should all be focusing on this. And I mean, I still try to support companies that say that they, you know, give this to that, or they help this organization, or they back all these like feel-good things, because at least they're using something to help them versus the people who are really not doing anything. But I feel like it's kind of fake and not genuine if you do it just for potential marketing or just to look good. Like, I want corporations, or at least people who start companies, I want them to actually believe in that and actually want to see the world become a better place. They actually want to see the environment improve, or global warming, or saving a certain species, or just all those different types of things, not just doing it because it looks good. And like one company I really like, it's Lush, and I feel like that they do a pretty decent job as far as backing what they say, and I like that. But I feel like that they could really improve, and I really want to send them an email, because I'm all about, if you see something that should be changed, you should say something. Like, it doesn't matter if it's government, corporation, regardless of what it is. If you have an idea for improvement, like, send them an email. That won't hurt anything. Like, it takes 5 seconds, and you never know. Like, maybe enough people have the same idea, and they're all sending that same information, and maybe they eventually will change. So I would like to send them an email, but it's based on their workers, like retail workers, because they're a Canada-based company, and I feel like their corporate people get treated very well. And they have like paid volunteer time, which is absolutely amazing. And I wish more corporations would incorporate paid volunteer time into the work week. But they don't give that to the retail workers. So I feel like that they could really, to back their messaging as far as like helping people, because they usually try to use ingredients that are ethically sourced. They try to go into very impoverished areas and pay a decent amount for the goods. They don't just like pay whatever is the going rate. They try to pay a decent amount, and they've pulled a lot of communities out of very impoverished conditions, or villages that did not have any sources of income and things like that. So I feel like they're on the right track with at least that, on that front at least. But they could really improve, I feel, the treatment of the retail workers, because I actually was looking into applying and working at one of their stores here in America, and the pay was insanely low. Like, it wasn't even close to a living or thriving wage for the areas. And I feel like that's something that they really need to address, Because if they want to help people and they want to be ethical, like they act like they want to be, and they are doing it in some areas, they need to translate that to their company, like completely, like over the whole entire company. Like, don't just pay or treat certain groups in your company, like the corporate or the CEO or whoever all the top tiered people are, all the executives. Like, that same treatment, pay, and all of that, it needs to go for all the workers. I mean, you don't need to pay your is working at the mall. You don't have to pay them $50 an hour, but you should at least pay them enough to live. Because if you want them to come work for you, you are taking them on. Like, they are actually helping you in a pretty significant way, because you would not have a business. You wouldn't be able to reach people without them. They're doing something amazing for your company. They're your boots on the ground. They're actually the face of your company. When people walk in, their personality and who they are translates over, and it's representing your brand. And you should want to make sure that they are taken care of, that they have a very, nice life, that they can actually go out and do the things they want to in their life. Like, we're not meant to just come to the world and do nothing but work 24/7 and then die. Like, what kind of life is that? What are we doing as a species when all we do is just consume and consume, and then what's left? What is life? Like, we're here for a short period of time. Why should you spend that slaving away for pennies? Why should you spend that working 2, 3 jobs just so you can keep a roof over your head? Like, I think that's absolutely asinine. Like, why? Why are corporations setting this structure up? I would like to see wages and inflation become tied together. I think, because, everyone keeps telling me, oh no, we can't raise the wages. Like, I feel like minimum wage, $15 minimum wage, that was 15 years ago. Like, we now need a $25 minimum wage, at least here in Washington. Any of the areas that have really good jobs and high paying jobs, and that are very sought after, and a lot of people are coming to them, so the prices have really skyrocketed. We need $25 minimum wage. At least if you're a corporation that's making a certain amount, or you have a certain amount of employees, you need to be paying minimum $25 an hour. Like, that's what it needs to be. If an apartment costs $2,000, you need to make it $25 an hour. Like, you can't even find an apartment hardly in Seattle for less than $1,000. If you do, it's going to be literally a bedroom that you can only fit a bed in. Like that, and that's going to be $1,000. But yet the minimum wage is like 13 something for the state. That's ridiculous. So maybe I'm going off on a tangent here. I for sure am. But I'm more of like a social advocate, and I'm definitely an activist, and I am someone that sees something and I go try to change it. Like, I'm not someone who just sits on the sidelines and is just like, oh, well, like, we can't do anything about it. Like, yes, we can. Like, it might take time. It might take work. It might take a lot of thought. And maybe you doing some work, but you can get things changed. Like, especially for the pandemic. I feel like the pandemic really made a lot of people downsize their life, rethink what's important and what they're doing. Like, they probably, when you go from just being in survival mode constantly, which I have been in for a long time, when you just go from working constantly just to keep up with your bills, like, that's all you have time to think about. You don't have time to think about life. You don't have time to think about the future. You don't have time to really evaluate anything, because you're going from working constantly, you're under so much stress, you don't even realize the stress you're under, and you actually get used to the stress. So it's actually not, it doesn't feel so stressful, because I think back to when I was in college, when I was like 19, and I was a waitress and I was working at a bar, and I only made, like, when I was first working, minimum wage was like $5 an hour, which is crazy, because I remember spending like $40 a week. Actually, I think I filled up twice. I filled up my car twice because I drove really far. I lived in rural Mississippi, and so I would drive really, really far to my job, like 30 minutes, and I had to fill up my gas twice a week, and it was $40 a gallon. Can you imagine? That's $80 a week in gas, and you're making $5 an hour. That's ridiculous. That is just utter ridiculousness. And I was even tutoring. So for that amount that I made, I was tutoring math and science at the college. And I worked a second job, and that was waitressing. And that's because waitressing was one of the only options, because everything there that I would qualify for, being new to the workforce and a college student, would pay minimum wage. So $5 an hour just was not cutting it for me. And I didn't really have a lot of bills. I mean, I was putting myself through school, so I had books, I had school, all that kind of stuff. I was able to get work study though, so the $5 that I made actually went to pay for my school. But $5 an hour is insane. So I had to go and waitress, and it really hurt my wrist and hands. So ever since that time, ever since I was 20, I've had chronic wrist and hand pain for the last 15 years almost. And I went to countless doctors. I tried to figure it out.